science. So as a coach, it's important for us to have a basic understanding of our anatomy, physiology, and kinesiology. So before we get started, let's go over what that actually means. So anatomy is the branch of science concerned with the bodily structure of humans, animals, and other living organisms. For us particularly, we are going to be going over the skeletal system, the muscular system, the endocrine, and the nervous system. Physiology is where you take the bodily structures and you start talking about how they function. Kinesiology is where we take the bodily structure and how they function and then also apply how they apply movement. So we're going to be breaking down these three different parts as we progress. So first one we're going to talk about is the skeletal system. So there are four main functions of the skeletal system. The first is just support for our tissues and muscles, so it helps hold everything in place. It's protection for our vital organs. So for example, our skull protects our brain, our spinal column protects our spinal cord, and then our rib cage and scapula protect our heart and lungs. The skeletal system also allows movement through the attachment of muscles, and they store minerals and blood cells as well. So with the skeletal system, there are 206 bones, but as a coach, it's important to understand the basic anatomy of the human body. We don't really need to know all 206 bones, but understanding the difference between a metatarsal, which is in the foot, and a metacarpal, which is in the hand, really is important. So for us, we want to focus on these 23 major human bones. These are probably the more common ones and our bigger structure bones because part of our job is to keep our athletes safe and be able to communicate with them as well as other health professionals. So if we have an athlete who is seeing a chiropractor or PT, we need to have a basic understanding of our anatomy and our skeletal system in order to be able to have a clear line of communication between the medical professional, ourselves, and therefore be able to prescribe the appropriate movement selections for our athlete. The last piece of the skeletal system is the spinal column. So it has a lot of very important functions. Some we'll dive into a little deeper later. But the three main functions are it protects the spinal cord, the nerve roots, and the bodies of our internal organs. It is our structural support and balance and helps us stay upright and maintain our posture. And it does allow us some motion. So we can bend over and stand up, but it makes sure that we aren't super loosey-goosey and all over the place so we can still protect all of our organs. As coaches, our job as it relates to the spinal column is to really reinforce these functions and how important they are through proper technique and exercise prescription, something that we'll be going over as we continue in this course.